What's going on, you guys? Slim here, back with a new deck profile for you guys, and I've got my 60 card pile that I have been playing non-stop on stream. You guys have seen me pilot this deck so many times, and I absolutely love it. I have to say it's probably one of my new favorite decks, and just a deck I've been having a blast with. So I really hope you guys enjoy today's deck profile. If you guys are new here, consider subscribing, hit that notification bell. You guys will be notified whenever I upload. You'll also be notified when I stream over on Twitch. Link is in the description. Your boy is always on Twitch almost every day this week and going forward in the new month. Just definitely come hang out. We always have a great time over on Twitch, just streaming, playing EDO Pro, Dueling Book, you name it. We just have a really chill podcast. I always bring on a lot of cool guests, a lot of my friends, and we just talk about everything from Yu-Gi-Oh to life, and it's awesome. So definitely check it out. While you're there, consider joining my Discord. That's how you guys can hop in on my streams. I'm always willing to let people, hop in and be a guest on my stream. I love having it like a really chill podcast with all of you, so definitely consider checking that out. As always, if you guys want to build this deck, and I always encourage you guys to, because this deck is awesome, use my TCG player link. It's in the description below. A portion of what you spend goes back to the channel. It helps me out, and I really do appreciate it. And last but not least, if you want to further support the channel and get some exclusive rewards at the same time, consider joining my Patreon. Again, links in the description. So with all that out of the way, you guys, we're gonna hop into this. This deck is insane. I don't remember, I think the last time I played a 60 card deck was when we had that Grass Looks Greener at 1. And it's been a really long time coming. This deck is so much fun, though. There are so many engines in it. There's so much potential that you can do. The engines just work amazing together. And I'm telling you guys, if you're looking for a break from like regular meta decks and you want to play some fun and you want to play some trap cards, this is the deck for you. So with all that out of the way, you guys, we will get into it. And I've broken it down by engines because trust me, it's a thick boy. We got to do it engine by engine if we're going to do this deck and what it's trying to do any justice. But we will start with the Eldritch engine, which of course, your boy is super excited to have. It's a very standard engine. I'm not going to explain a lot of cards. You should know what they do. 2 copies of Golden Lord, of course, with 3 Cursed Eldland. The cards are just insane. I think the grind game of Eldritch is what is really just amazing. It's something I've grown to love with this engine since I never played it before until now. Seeing how powerful the engine is, I really do like it. Along with the 3 Elixir, and then of course the 3 Conquistador. And since we are playing 60 cards, we also play 3 copies of Haquero, unlike our other deck where we played only 2 copies. Since this is basically just a big engine deck and you're playing 60 cards, you want to max out. So the Eldritch engine is very standard. I wouldn't change anything about it. Next, we're playing one of my favorite engines ever released, the Dogmatika engine. So for the monsters, it's very simple, just 2 copies of Ecclesia. However, I do choose to play the 1 Fleur de Lis, and I know a lot of these lists that have top playing 60 cards do not play Fleur de Lis, they side it. However, I wanted it in the main deck because it just gives me that OTK potential. For anyone that doesn't know, when you have Ecclesia plus Fleur de Lis, it's already 5,000 on board. Also, the Effect Negate can come up as well if you have already stuck the Ecclesia. It gives you another target to search. So just a very, very solid engine as well. And then of course with the 3 Nadir Servant, and then just the best trap card ever, Triple Punishment. There's no reason not to just max out on this. I wouldn't change this engine. I like the 1 Fleur de Lis. If you don't want to play the 1 Fleur de Lis, you can just keep it at 2 Ecclesia, or you can add a 3rd, but I felt like this engine was just perfect, so there's nothing in that I would change either. Next, we have the next engine, the Red Eyes engine, and we went full force with this engine. We've got the 3 Red Eyes Fusion, along with the 3 Red Eyes Insight, and then not only the 2 targets, the Dark Magician and the Red Eyes, but we're also playing the Red Eyes Wyvern. So for anyone who doesn't know, you use Red Eyes Insight, you send Wyvern, you search Red Eyes Fusion, so it gives you basically 6 copies of Red Eyes Fusion in your deck. This also has a bonus effect that during a turn you haven't, I believe it's you haven't normal summoned or set a card, you can banish this Wyvern from the graveyard and revive a Red Eyes monster. That means you can revive the Red Eyes Black Dragon, or in some situations, if your Dragoon died and it was summoned successfully, you can bring it back. So sometimes even after you burn through your Dragoon later in the game, in the grind game, you can bring it back. So that effect is amazing. I really, really like that about this, and especially in 60 cards, maxing out on Fusion and Insight just helps you open it a lot more consistently. So I really, really like this engine. Dragoon is broken, so why would you not play it? Next, we have the Shaddoll engine. I'm telling you guys, this deck is so crazy because there's so many different engines that work together so well. Like, I absolutely love it. But for the Shaddolls, it's a very small Shaddoll engine, but it's just 1 Wendy, 1 Ariel, and 1 Beast, along with 3 copies of Sinister Shadow Games and 1 copy of Schism. So Schism doesn't need any explanation. You just set it up to make Wind and Construct. Shadow Games, though, is really the spice of the deck. We're playing other trap cards and other engines that work well with Sinister Shadow Games, and a lot of times when you set Sinister Shadow Games, games, you flip it at the end of the turn and you can send a Wendy, and then you can set a beast, and on your turn flip beast, and you can draw 2 cards, discard 1. You could also use Ariel's effect for a DD Crow for 3. Like, it's just insane like what this small little engine does for the deck while setting you up to play Winda and Construct. So it's an amazing engine. We play cards like Trap Trick and Lilith, so we can also see the Sinister Shadow games and other avenues in the deck when we're playing like through the grind game and whatnot. So this engine has been amazing. It's a very simple Shaddoll engine, but it's very effective. So again, there's nothing I would change in here after all the testing and all the games I've played on stream. Like, this engine has just been amazing. So definitely something I highly recommend if you're playing the pile, to definitely play that. The difference with my variant of the deck is I'm not playing Backjack and Fiend Griefing. I haven't tested them yet, and this is the build I've been testing on stream. For those of you that have come over, you guys know this is what I've been playing with, so I didn't want to profile something that I haven't tested enough. So this is just my take on the deck, but I definitely recommend trying out Backjack and Fiend Griefing going forward. I think they're very good cards. But basically for the rest of the deck, which is like the trap engine, we have triple copies of Lilith. So this card just helps you get your normal trap cards. This card's crazy. Being able to just banish, being able to just tribute a dark monster is nuts, and then being able to reveal just your normal trap cards is great. So for that engine, what we do play is we do play 3 copies of Ice Dragon's Prison. I know this card is expensive. I know that people are always asking what's the best substitute for this. I say Solemn Strike. However, we are playing Solemn Strike in the main deck, but any form of monster removal works. Ice Dragon's Prison is just insane. It's just not good against Drytron, but it's good against everything else, as well as 3 copies of Torrential. This board clearer is insane. It punishes overextension, along with 3 copies of Paleozoic Dynamiscus. Obviously, this card is just fantastic, as it doesn't destroy, it vanishes, so that's super important. And also, in weird situations, the Paleo will come back when you activate a trap, so it helps you get another body on board, so I really like that. And then to go with all those traps, we are playing the 3 copies of Trap Trick. Obviously, just being able to have extra copies of our trap cards in our deck is just really good. So I really like that. Trap Trick can just help you set up, and the more traps you see, the better it is, because traps are very effective against the format. So that's why the whole deck kind of relies around traps and stuff like that. And then the last of the cards are just the 3 Solemn Strike. So this was I like having this in the main deck. I think it's amazing in the main deck. I don't like siding it. This is a card that I want to see going first or going second, because it can help you break a board. Also, backing a Strike with the Dragoon is like basically game against every deck, so it's pretty insane. I really like Strike. I really like what it brings to the forefront, and it's just an amazing card. Like I said, this is your best substitute for Ice Dragon's Prison in any other deck, so in case you guys were looking for a budget alternative, that's the best budget alternative I can give you. Strike is amazing, so we play that. And then the last card in this deck, you would think wouldn't work, but it does. I still don't know how, but you can actually play Pot of Extrav in this deck, because our extra deck is set up to where we only need certain cards. We just max out on those cards and just run the gamble. But Extrav, just that plus is just so important. And honestly, like, if you stick a Dragoon, like, you're good to go. Like, having an Extrav later in the game to just help you draw more cards is fantastic. So that is the entire deck, you guys. It is 60 cards. I can't remember the last time I said that, but it's amazing to play a deck like this after so long. But we will get into the extra deck. Now remember, this is an Extrav deck, so you're going to see a lot of multiples for certain reasons. Your main monster, though, that you want to stick is the Red Eyes Dragoon. For as long as this card is still going to be in the game, we're going to play it, along with 3 copies of Apocalone. The reason why Apocalone is so important is because it is able to get you to Schism, and that helps you set up for your Winda, and that is the reason why we're also maxing out on Winda. Because of Extrav, you just don't want to banish all the copies of this and not being able to play. The variant before only played 2 Dragoon. I ended up cutting a Link Spider in order to play a 3rd Dragoon. I feel that Dragoon is just such a focal point of the deck that you definitely need to play 3 copies. So just something I highly recommend for anyone that's playing or going to pick up this deck. And then Apocalone and Winda are the next most important Shaddolls, so you should just play max out on those. And then I am only playing 1 Construct. However, this Construct really does not come up that much in this particular deck, so it's not really, I'm not really regretting playing only 1. It very rarely comes up. A lot of times I'm just sending it for Nadir's Servant, so sometimes it'll have weird interactions where I can get back Schism or something, but it really doesn't happen that much. But I still included the 1 copy. And then basically the rest of the extra deck is just the food for Dogmatica, which is the standard 2 copies of Entis and the 1 copy of Titaniclad. That's just very standard. And then the last 2 cards are links. The 1 Link Spider, it goes with all your tokens, like, or not your tokens, your monster traps for Eldritch, and sometimes you can just make it in weird situations. It helps you get them into the grave to trigger their grave effects. And then I am playing the Verde. Believe it or not, I rarely summon this, because usually I'm opening Dragoon or something like that, but in some situations you can do this. Also, Also, turning an Eldritch monster into Link Spider and having another monster helps you make Verte, so that's a lot. That works a lot. So that's kind of how I play the deck, if need be, in order to make Dragoon. So that is it, you guys. Wow. 60 cards in 2021 feels insane, and I'll tell you right now, I am loving this deck. It is so much fun to play, and I highly recommend to anyone that wants to pick up this deck, please do. If you want to break from the regular decks like Virtual World or Drytron, you want to just play something that just has so much potential, such a high ceiling, pick up this deck, you guys. It's definitely worth it, and you will continue to see me piloting it over on stream because I absolutely love it. But please let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed the deck profile, smash that like button. Let's get this video to 100+ likes for more deck profiles. You know your boys got you on those deck profiles, those live deck profiles with all the real cards, because you know that's just how we roll over here. But it's our first profile for 2021. We're gonna keep it going strong and just have the best year possible. We're shooting for 30K. Team APS said to shoot for 40K subs by the end of the year, and you know what, we're going to do our best to get there. But thank you guys for your continued support. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and as always, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.